Dear coffee, you are just keeping me going, and I'm so grateful to you. It is, I think it's day 3 now, of this intense pain that I keep going through. Every time it's alleviated or goes down even a little bit, I decide to grab the camera and kind of vlog a bit. It's difficult because I'm trying to stay positive and I'm trying to stick to all these positive messages I keep sending out, but it is draining to be in pain as often as I have been. I think I got back on my feet a little bit too fast. I think that I should have rested a few weeks longer, but I really didn't want to be on a cane and in bed rest during VEDA. Since I'm kind of stuck in here again today anyway, I need to say this last piece of the story. The Florida part of the story is already done. There's just one more part to go, and that's how I ended up coming back from this edge of depression and oblivion. So here we go. Story part 4, the finale of it. To recap, I went to Florida, got abandoned in Florida, had a gun pulled on me, walked a whole bunch, bled a whole bunch out of the mass in my leg, and here we are. Wow, I guess I didn't need 3 parts. I guess I could have just told it like that. So I got back and spent a few days at my mom's house because obviously I was like super down about not saving that girl. Not helping her will haunt me the rest of my life, and it really affected me when I got back and I felt really low. I spent a long time feeling low, told the story to a bunch of friends and my family. In doing so, was told by multiple people, hey, you were bleeding while walking, you need to go and talk to your doctor, and whatever. So after a bunch of prodding, I decided I'm going to go talk to my doctor. Now at the time, this was going to be my 10th surgery. I hadn't had a surgery in a couple of years, so this was really important to get out of the way, get the checkup done, whatever, start the ball rolling. So I went to the hospital and talked to a nurse ahead of time before I saw my doctor, and the nurse was super bubbly and fun. I love nurses, by the way. Nurses, just as a side note, thank you so much for everything you're doing right now. I talked to this nurse. She's super bubbly and loving and wonderful, and I'm like, wow. Having to see all these sick people all day, how do you stay so bubbly? And she goes, 2 things. 1, no husband, and 2, no kids. She's like, it's great because I get to go on vacation whenever I want, so I just like living the single life. And I said, that's awesome. Where are you going next? And she goes, in 3 weeks, I'm going to Florida. And I went, woo. Don't go to Miami. She said, why? And I said, because if you go to Miami, you'll have a gun pulled on you and then you'll bleed from the mass. And you're like, wait, that's me. But anyways, so we both laughed and she said, well, I guess I know why you're here. And I was like, yeah, I went walking around Florida. The mass in my leg bled. It was awful. Now, just so you can recap, because I had Alexander ask this, I have a very rare arterial vascular malformation, which means the vein itself is malformed. The vein comes out of my body, therefore any damage to it does bleed because it's the vein. It sucks. It sucks a lot. Walking on it hurts like crazy because the muscle's underdeveloped there. So the nurse leaves and the doctor comes in, and before I could even ask him, do you want to take a look at it? He goes, you're fine. Last surgery, we did all this extra work. We got it. You're not going to die. Congratulations. You're fine. And I went, I don't know how to feel about that. That's crazy. He's literally about to walk out, like dramatically, hand on the door, about to leave. And the intern says, hang on, doctor. James, tell me what you told Nurse Susan about the mass bleeding. And before I can answer, the doctor says, it can't be bleeding. It must have been bleeding from somewhere else. The mass can't bleed. Our scans are showing that it's been cauterized. It's all done. You can't bleed. The blood isn't coming close enough to the surface. And I go, well, it did bleed. I can show it to you. So I show it to him. He goes, there's scabs here. And I go, I know, I just told you that. And he was like, hang on. The 3 doctors leave. I have 2 doctors and an intern. Like, there's a whole team. It's like Doctor House. They all go away and they go into their vascular clinic office. And they come back and they go, okay, we want you in Monday for surgery. But I thought I was fine. You just said I was fine. Doctor says, buy a lottery ticket, because if you've had this much bad luck, you're bound to have good luck. And so I go and I have surgery. The doctor comes to me afterwards and says, we got it. We fixed it. We're sure this time. You're going to live a long time. Congratulations. You'd think I'd be thrilled. I didn't know what to feel. I thought, I don't have a plan. I've never had like a 5-year plan. I've always just kind of been like, whatever. And now it's like, hey, you're going to live a super long time. I can worry about losing weight. I can do whatever. As time goes on, instead of being this happy-go-lucky guy, I became more and more miserable, more and more depressed. It sucked. The more depressed I got, the more people started falling out of my life because they didn't want to be around someone so miserable. Then in August, I met someone who changed my life forever. She is one of the most wonderful, caring, compassionate people I've ever met. She saved me. She changed my life. She made me better. And she made me want to be better, and that's what's super important. Her name is Lauren, and Lauren owns a little company called Sonic Expressions. She has a YouTube channel, Sonic Mindfulness, and there will be a link in the description below so that you can go and watch some of her videos. We had a conversation in which she challenged me to think differently. And after telling her the entire story about everything I'd been through, she helped me realize something really important. Brian died, so I went looking for everything I could to make sense and fill the void that was left inside me. I went to Florida and I met up with the girl, and everything fell apart because I was hoping that an old flame could create a new flame and help me ignore it. If I hadn't done that, I'm done counting, by the way, but if I hadn't gone to Florida, then I wouldn't have been abandoned in Florida. I wouldn't have had a gun pulled on me in Florida. I wouldn't have realized how badly I wanted to live, and I wouldn't have walked around so much and bled. So getting abandoned in Florida saved me. because I got back and went to work saving my own life. To be clear, I am not happy Brian died, and I would trade my life for his right now. Right now. But at the end of the day, there was a light through all of that darkness. And as I started seeing that, as I started seeing all the pieces in the train that was the journey of my life, it just got so much better. So here I am, like 8.5 months later, and I see everything so much clearer now. Lauren helped me see so much of my life. She helped me see how wonderful everything actually is. And I will never be able to repay her for that. Anybody who wants to go and subscribe to her YouTube channel and support her in her social media journey, please do. Lauren, I adore you. You are one of the most incredible friends I've ever had the pleasure of having, and I could not be more grateful for someone in my life. You came along exactly when you needed to. You helped me in the exact way you needed to. You made me better. And the one thing that I keep saying is I'm not just grateful that you made me want to be a better human being. I'm grateful because you made me become comfortable with the person I already am. I'd lived my entire life for death, going to other funerals, becoming a counselor because of all the death of my family, literally living day to day thinking I could die at any time. My entire life, I've been obsessed with death, even when I didn't want to be. And now I'm obsessed with life. And I can't put all that on one person. It's not just Lauren that did that. There was a lot of growth that had to happen. But as all that growth built up and got ready to happen, she turned around and said, let me unlock the gate for you and allow you to grow as much as you need to. And I am so happy and so thankful that she came into my life when she did. So after everything bad that happened, I'm here sitting as a truly happy human being. I mean, I went and had surgery again on February 11th, got taken off my feet for a month, got back on my feet, and then a couple weeks after being at work full time, COVID happened and I had to go. I've barely been in my office this year. I went through dark times, and I came out the other side a positive, better human being. I don't even think I understood love as much as I do now. And I'm grateful and happy to be here and to have the people in my life that I do, including you guys watching. This is the end of my story, but it's not the end of my journey, so there's a new story happening right now, or just a continuation of the story, if you will. With that, we need a question of the day. Let's get to that. It comes from Magic Fergie, my friend Sean, who I adore as well, and he asked, is it flat? The object in the bag is not flat. I also want to point out that Keithruth said that my eyes are beautiful. I think that he's just an incredible man. Please leave yes or no questions in the comments below to narrow down what's in the magic mystery bag. I have a feeling someone's going to guess it today or tomorrow. I'm really thinking we're going to hit it right now. Thank you so much for listening to this story. Clap your thumbs if you believe. All kinds of extra love to you guys. My apologies that these vlogs have all been basically in my room, but I am dealing with an immense amount of pain, so thank you for your understanding. And Jimmy Smash.